Before we go ahead and implement OAuth2 authorization and authentication framework inside our EazyBank web application, let's try to spend few minutes on what is OpenID Connect. So you might be hearing a lot about OpenID Connect from your colleagues, friends, or any blogs that you might be reading and wondering what is OpenID Connect and how it is related to OAuth2 framework. So both OAuth2 and OpenID, they are very similar with a minor difference. The difference is OpenID Connect is built on top of OAuth2 framework to provide identity details of the user for whom we are issuing an access token. Like without OpenID Connect, long back when OAuth2 framework is introduced in the industry, many organizations they started implementing it, and the main purpose of OAuth2 framework is only to implement authorization based upon access management and role management. And since there is no standard way of sharing identity details of the user, every OAuth2 server implementation they used to have their own way of sharing the identity details of the user. So to address those challenges related to non-standard ways of sharing identity details between auth server and client applications, a new protocol is built on top of OAuth2 framework. So OpenID Connects provides authentication by introducing a new ID token which contains user details with a new set of scopes and claims specifically related to identity. So just like how OAuth2 framework is giving access token, if you incorporate any authentication server which is leveraging OpenID Connect, it will give two types of tokens. One is an access token which is from the OAuth2, and the other one is an ID token which is from the OpenID Connect, and this ID token will have identity details of the user like his email, like his profile details. So all those details are standardized and kept inside a ID token. So if you can see the diagram here, first OAuth2 framework is built on top of HTTP protocol, and the main intention of the OAuth2 framework is to provide authorization of the user. Like it will give an access token. Based upon the access token, it will identify whether a given user can access a particular resource or not. But the limitation that we have with OAuth2 framework is where there is no standardized way of knowing to whom that access token is belong. That problem is solved by OpenID Connect. So on top of OAuth2, we also have OpenID Connect built, and that will focus on authentication, which will share a ID token that contains all the details of the identity or the user who is trying to get an access token. So now we know what is OpenID Connect. Let's try to understand why OpenID Connect is very important. Since many of the organizations they started incorporating OAuth2 framework, and many of the applications they are trying to interact with each other by leveraging access token provided by the authorization server, there are needs to know to whom this access token belongs to. So that's where identity came into picture, and identity is the key to any application. So with this identity putting inside OAuth2 framework along with the access token, a new paradigm came into picture which is IAM, Identity and Access Management Strategy. Like we know, OpenID handles with identity and authentication, and authorization handles with access management using roles and authorities. If you club both of them, you will get a new strategy which is identity and access management. So long back, many of the big organizations they already moved to the OpenID Connect, and even if you go and leverage any products that are available like Okta, KeyCloak, they all leveraged already OpenID Connect. That's why we are discussing about OpenID Connect now. So don't confuse between OpenID Connect and OAuth2. So OAuth2 framework will help you with an access token. If your organization doesn't need any identity details in a standardized way, then you can go and happily live with OAuth2 framework. But if there is a need to know the identity of the user, then definitely go ahead and implement OpenID Connect based authentication and authorization framework. So whenever I consider OpenID Connect, I'll also get OAuth2 framework. The reason is OpenID Connect built on top of OAuth2 framework. So it is very simple. OpenID Connect will give two tokens. One is access token and the other one is identity token. Whereas if you implement only OAuth2 framework, you will get only access token. So if you really ask me what is present inside my token is, it will have user details like email, address, his first name. All those details can be incorporated inside ID token, and OpenID Connect uses JWT standard in order to generate a ID token. And at the same time, when you incorporate OpenID Connect, it will have a dedicated standardized API endpoint URL with the name /userinfo, which can be invoked by client applications if they want to know more about user details. So this way, OpenID Connect brings more transparency into authentication and authorization. So don't worry, we are going to discuss this in practical using KeyCloak server, and during that time it will make more sense to you. For now, please remember that OpenID built on top of OAuth2 framework, and it provides ID token along with the access token. With OpenID Connect, we are moving to a new strategy called identity and access management. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Bye.